When you think about creativity and the process of bringing an artistic and entrepreneurial vision to life, you might think it looks something like this. The reality is, the days of a web creator are often filled with activities that are quite a bit, well, less glamorous. So how do web creators stay inspired? When I started my blog, I was inspired by all of the stories I'd get to share, the places I'd get to visit, and the people I'd get to meet. After all, I got into this business to be creative. Along the way, pretty quickly, I realized that the time spent on the operational side of things could easily eclipse the time spent being creative. So as I started growing my web business, I realized that in order to continuously create content, I'd have to find ways to stay creative. In one of my favorite books, The War of Art, Steven Pressfield says, "This is the secret that real artists know and wannabes don't. When we sit down each day and do our work, power concentrates around us. The muse takes note of our dedication. When we sit down and work, we become like a magnet." So how do we create an environment in which we can encourage that power to concentrate around us? Welcome to Creativity Lab. Here I'll show you my process for staying inspired and brimming with ideas for new content on the regular. In my personal Creativity Lab, I consider all the concepts and stories I want to share. I invite the brightest ideas to flow forward, and it's where I allow free thinking to occur so that I can continue to build a creative business and blog that feels magnetic. The strategy to make all of this happen? Mind mapping. So what exactly is mind mapping? Mind mapping encourages a free flow of ideas, which makes it a perfect format for brainstorming, creative problem-solving sessions, and discovering your brand vision. And mind maps lets you capture thoughts, ideas, and keywords on a blank canvas. A few tips to help you prepare for your first mind mapping session. Start with a complete brain dump. The clearer your mind when you begin the mind mapping process, the easier it will be to encourage fresh ideas to flow. There are a lot of ways that you can brain dump. One of my favorite practices is morning pages. Every morning, take time to free flow write. This is a stream of consciousness, whatever crosses the mind type of practice. All you need is a journal, a pen, and paper. Handwriting forces the brain to mentally engage with the information in a much deeper way. You can also use a Google Doc if you prefer to type. There's even a Morning Pages app that will remind you to start your practice every morning, and after you're done, it will show you the moods, emotions, and topics you've written about. This will give you insight into your own mind. The pages should be done in the morning because they prioritize the day you are about to have instead of reviewing the day that's already passed. According to Julia Cameron, the creator of the Morning Pages process and the author of The Artist's Way, the purpose of the brain dump is to get all that angry, whiny, petty stuff written down so that it turns off our sensor, calms us down, inspires us, and empties us of disturbing distractions. My second strategy for brain dumping: keep an idea book. Ever had an idea come to you in a dream, during the ride to work, or in the shower? Great ideas can come unexpectedly. Keeping an idea book handy can help to capture a thought or an idea as it comes to you in the moment. Then, when you begin your mind mapping process, you can flip right back into your idea book to revisit it. There are a few apps I like for this too. Try Daybook or Pinzu if you like to keep your idea book on your phone or tablet. My third strategy for a good brain dump session: the List of 100 journal. The List of 100 is exactly what it sounds like. Sit down and in one sitting, choose a topic, and then without judgment, write a list of 100 things. You can write 100 things related to your content niche or 100 things that you're just feeling inspired by. A few examples: if you're a travel blogger, write a list of 100 places you'd like to visit. If you're a fashion lover, write a list of 100 design ideas that you're inspired by. If you're a photographer, 100 subjects you'd like to photograph. The List of 100 is a beautifully articulated cooperation between the conscious and the subconscious mind. Now that our minds are clear and ideas are starting to flow, it's time to start the mind mapping process. The goal is to feel empowered to create content you're proud of as you build your brand voice. Here's an example of how I use mind maps to create a story idea for Wee Wee. Let's say I want to share a post about the full moon. It's a topic we talk a lot about on my site. I'll begin my mind map by placing the content topic, full moon, in the center of the page. I like to use Miro, a good online tool. It allows me to create mind maps that I can share for collaborative purposes. This is especially helpful if you'll be creating collaboratively with a team. There's also an app called MindNode, which is awesome for being able to mind map on the fly. So, back to the map. The content topic is my central idea, or the big why for the post. Then, from there, related ideas branch off from the center in all directions, creating a radiant outward flow. I like to color code each idea and then check the idea in my keyword search tool. If there's an idea I believe will have traction on my blog and attract new readers and inspire the current ones, I continue to expand on that idea. For example, under the subtopic of full moon rituals, there's a myriad of ideas for rituals that I could write about. I could even write a new post every single month with that specific subtopic. The philosopher Aristotle said, "The soul never thinks without a mental image." And that's what mind maps are all about. I hope this peek into my creative lab gives you the tips and tools you need to stay inspired, discover your voice, and keep the content rolling as you build your content plan. In the next episode, I'll talk about creating with authenticity, finding meaning in your work, and how to feel authentic confidence in order to face your fears and find success as you get started.